So moving on to Peacemaker. Have you watched it?
I have. I haven't seen episode 4 yet because I forgot episode 4 came out because I don't know that day that the episodes dropped, but the first 3 episodes were some of the funniest. Oh my God.
Um,
I
it
was so
airs
happy.
it airs on Thursdays.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
yeah, it's not surprisingly good because it's James Gunn. I wasn't super interested in the show. Like at first, at first I was like, I'll watch it, and then eventually got to a point where I was like, I don't think I'll watch it. And then people kept saying, "Oh my God, this show's so good, it's so funny." I was like, okay, let me watch it. And I started watching it, and it was hilarious. And I was like, this show is amazing. I don't know why I didn't trust James Gunn like he didn't just make like one of the best, if not the best, live action DC film within the DC EU in recent memory. So like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't just trust James Gunn and watch the show to begin with, but it's really funny. Vigilante, a lot of people saying like he's very different than he is in the comics, but that doesn't stop him from being a good character and funny character here, and I like him a lot. He has a great moment in episode 4, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But yeah, I like Vigilante in the show. He might be my favorite character in the show at the moment. But yeah,
Definitely agreed. He was a lot more comic book accurate in the CW, but like they weren't exactly going for accuracy. I mean, Peacemaker has like up until the new Suicide Squad like comic, not the movie, up until the new Suicide Squad comic, Peacemaker had like 14 comic book appearances and they were all pre-1980. So like, what do you like, like I'm not really looking for accuracy here. I'm just looking for a fun time. And Vigilante, if anything happens to him, I'm going to be devastated. I love him in this show so much.
So I became aware of a character because of Vigilante in DC universe. That's a parody of Deadpool called Red Tool, and that's interesting. There's a Deadpool parody character in DC called Red Tool. People are like, Vigilante is more like Red Tool than he is like Vigilante is in the comics. And I was like, it would make sense if eventually like Red Tool in the comics takes over the Vigilante mantle and becomes like the Peacemaker version of Vigilante within the comics. I also wouldn't be surprised if within the next year, Vigilante ends up being on the Suicide Squad in the comics, 100%.
I really hope he does, because he's just he was like granted, I haven't read much past him from like the 90s, so like I don't even know if he's been in much past the 90s, but like in like the 80s and 90s, it's pretty much just like kind of like Punisher, but like for Batman, like pre-Red Hood, but just like without the emotional connection to Batman. So like, what are you really gonna do, right? Like, it's Vigilante. He kills criminals. That's it. That's pretty much all I was looking for. What are you eating? Is that a cheese puff? I can't see that because of the filter. Pause.
They're like, yeah, they're basically cheese puffs. They're like, they're called like Chester Cheetah's cheese paws. And yeah, that's basically what they are. They're cheese puffs, but in the shape of paws. They're really good, and I've been eating them too much. But that's the first one I've eaten today, and it's like 3 o'clock. So, because before I would just walk by them and be like, I should eat some of them. They're delicious.